Global warming is a big problem on the Earth.
Global warming overall is just the warming of the Earth and the oceans, the land temperatures, primarily the land's warming up faster than the oceans, and the effect that has on the rest of the ecosystems and the systems of the Earth working together.
Factories can emit harmful gases into our atmosphere, and so can cars.
The main pollutant of these gases is CO2, or carbon dioxide.
Global warming is caused by pollution and the greenhouse effect.
The greenhouse effect is when heat gets trapped in our atmosphere by CO2.
And then it just sits there.
The heat acts like a blanket over the Earth, trapping it in the surface.
With all of this extra heat in our atmosphere, extreme weather is caused more frequently.
For example, storms such as tornadoes and hurricanes are becoming more and more violent.
Global warming doesn't just affect the weather. It affects humans and wildlife.
Animals in Antarctica and the Arctic are especially affected because the glaciers are melting and the animals are losing their habitat.
Even the ice under the soil, the permafrost, is melting and releasing hundreds of mosquito eggs.
Caribou have trouble breeding because they spend the majority of their time in the water to avoid the increased number of mosquitoes.
Polar bears and penguins are in a lot of danger too, due to habitat loss.
They could be the first Arctic animals to go extinct unless we do something to help them.
Emperor penguins are in critical danger. Their population has declined by 50%.
By the end of the century, it is estimated that there will be 400 breeding pairs, down from the current 6,000.
Walrus have been affected too. They are having a harder time finding sea ice to haul them up to land on.
Sometimes they have to swim miles to find the ice.
Even the smallest change in climate can mean the big difference to the size and quality of animals' habitats.
Polar bears are severely affected by global warming too.
The land and ice that they live on is shrinking.
Their habitats are being destroyed by pollution.
In order to protect these Arctic animals, humans need to decrease their pollution.
In the Arctic, the wildlife up there is like, if you think primarily even just with polar bears, for example, they need a lot of the ice to roam around on and get to different sources of food. And as the ice melts, that can start to become a problem. And so you have poor little polar bears that can't get to food or are stranded from their other, like their parents and stuff like that, because the ice has started to melt. And it can happen pretty quickly during the summer.
With less place to live, less animals can survive.
What things contribute to global warming?
Wow. Well, as you know, global warming means things are heating up, and on the reverse end of that, that means things are also cooling down. So with more extremes, things that would contribute to that, fossil fuels, use of pollutants, depletion of resources.
What things contribute to global warming?
All kinds of things. I think one of the things that a lot of people, we all know that, adding CO2 and gases like that can contribute, but I think one of the most interesting things that can contribute to it is what's called a positive feedback mechanism, where you have the warming, for example, that's already taking place, causing land that's currently frozen to start to melt. And there's gases in that land that have started to be released now because that land's melting, and those are still greenhouse gases. So by warming, we're actually causing even more warming, that sort of thing. So it's kind of this snowball effect with warming.
And how can an average human help stop global warming?
There's all kinds of things. Obviously driving better cars, that have higher gas mileage. It doesn't have to be a hybrid. A lot of the cars now have really good gas mileage, even without, having a hybrid engine. Obviously, if you can bike or walk to school or work, I think those are two really important things. And they have an added bonus of helping you get in better shape too.
Thankfully, there are ways to help stop global warming.
But if nobody stops polluting, that could be a really big problem.
We cannot let the earth become an uninhabited wasteland.
We can bike to school or work, or even carpool with your neighbor to cut down on car pollution.
Another way is to save energy by turning off the lights when you leave the room.
You can also install solar panels on your roof.
In addition, you can go to your local farmer's market to buy food instead of buying food from a company that uses planes or trucks to ship the food halfway around the world.
To save water, you can take shorter showers or turn off the water when brushing your teeth.
All of these options help cut down on pollution or save water or energy.
If we can get everyone to stop polluting so much, we can save the world and all its inhabitants. So after interviewing Mr. Rowe, what are some of the questions you have?
Well, I personally would like to know what he thought the world would look like in, let's say, 50 years from now, if global warming continues at this rate.
And what do you think he would say?
I think that he would say something like global warming, the levels of global warming would have gone down, but not exponentially, slightly, and he would say that several species that we now know are extinct, like the emperor penguin.
And did you feel satisfied with some of the answers?
Yes, I really liked his answers. He certainly knew what he was talking about. Patrick gave very scientific answers instead of the usual, oh yeah, there's carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So, what did you think about Patrick Early's answers?
I thought they were very explanatory. He gave a lot of information with them to, I guess, to really get the point across.
What did you learn from his answers?
I learned that global warming is a way bigger deal than I thought it was.
If there was anything else you could have asked him, what would it be?
I would have asked him, do you think that it's too late for the world to change?
Thank you.
Thank you.